I don't know why I have the glasses on when I'm working on the computer. I'm sitting too far away from it to need my reading glasses, but I guess I want to make sure I get it all right. I don't know. I don't know. Good morning to you, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is Little Sister of the Earth. I'm so happy to be here. I really am. Oh, I know Spirit's got a message today. They always do. They always do. So, if anybody has any questions, you are always welcome to pop a question up. And, we can either have a group discussion about it. You're welcome to have the other friends and family who are with us. All my friends are family. Who am I kidding? So we can either have them chime in, give an answer, or I'm always happy to say something. Spirit is more than willing. Spirit is more than willing. It's not really me. When I am talking to you, I'm very disconnected and up there and jumping from subject to subject. But when Spirit's in the house, when Spirit's talking, I'm nowhere to be found. Spirit is right on the money every time, without fail. Oh, sorry about that. Reach over and grab my table. Who's with me? Patricia. Good morning, beautiful friend. How are you doing today? It is Tuesday. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. Shoot, that was from a long time ago, wasn't it? Well, I have plopped down one too many times too hard on this beautiful, lovely blue velvet bench that I found. And I'm going to have to, have my hubs reinforce the bottom of it. Donna, good morning, beautiful friend. Where the hell have you been? My God, she's awake early this morning. Your nose must have been itching, or your ear was ringing all weekend, because I was thinking hard about you. Freya. Good morning to you, love, and to Wiz, and to Jeff. I hope everybody's doing well. Pamela, it is a beautiful day, isn't it? It's always good to see you guys. No kidding, Donna. I was thinking very seriously about you this weekend. Absolutely. Good. That's so nice. Have the most amazing and magical day ever. And right back at you, darling. I hope it all goes out, circles around 3 times, and splats you right in the face with a great big old kiss. Well, it's okay. You can give a beautiful day to somebody too, I got a new fan. I have lost more fans. And so that tells me that I really need to just go to the Dollar Tree store and just buy the cheap plastic and lace ones and stop buying the pretty ones. But who can resist leopard, right? Who can resist that? Oh, shoot. I wish I knew how to turn off these stupid alerts that come across the screen, that just kind of pop in out of the side. I really don't know how to do that. There's a lot of things that I'm discovering and have no clue how to do on a computer. And I was with someone who was in their 30s, no, 20s, I guess. Oh, excuse me. Who was I with when we were talking about this? I think it must have been with my grandson. I think that's exactly right. I was sitting in the car talking to my grandson, and I was telling him about a problem that I had on the computer, and he looked at me like I was really, poor, ignorant child. And I looked at him back, and I was kind of offended. And I said, well, hey, man, we didn't grow up with computers. You have to remember that. Excuse me. Computers are a brand new thing in the world. They didn't come around until what? When did home computers start coming in the mid-80s, I think? And really, they weren't something that everybody had that was fairly commonplace until about the mid-90s. Maybe even the early 2000s. I don't know. I was one of the last people to get a computer. Uh, Donna McGee, I am so absolutely stinking thrilled to hear that. I really am. I really, truly am. Because I remember how many times Spirit said, we got this. We got this, Donna. We got it. You know, it seemed like there for a while, every time we pulled a card, it was just letting you know everything's going to be good. It just has to go through the darkest part first. And that's the way life is, too. Everywhere you go. When you think that you've had all that you can take and that you really cannot take anymore, whether it has to do with your children or with yourself or in your spirit, mind, your body, something isn't right in your life. Good morning, Jeanette and Sheila. And you not only are at your last wits, but you think you really, truly believe. I believed so many times that I absolutely am not going to get through this, man. I can't survive this. And I would beg God, I would say, please, don't give me one more thing because I can't take it. And as soon as I would say that, and this is, hand to God, as soon as I would say that, something would happen. I would get a phone call, you're fired. From the other phone, rent's due, and you don't have the money. And you really are at your very last wit's end. And instead of begging God not to give you any more, you just finally give up and you say, I can't take this anymore. I can't. There's nothing else I can do. I quit. I quit, man. And you sit down on your front porch step and you grab a cigarette and you grab a Coke or whatever it is that your vice is. Grab that beer, grab that glass of wine, and you just sit there and you say, screw it. I'm not going to do this anymore, man. I'm really not doing this anymore. And you start deciding what can you leave behind and what can you pack in one bag because you just want something to sling over your shoulder and walk out the door. And when you're sitting on the porch, smoking that cigarette, drinking that Coke and that glass of wine and that beer, and you look up the street and here comes the mailman and you're going, God, I can't. I want to kill the mailman. No wonder mailman gets such a bad rap, It's because it's people like that who are at their absolute last straw. They get that last piece of mail. And you open it up. You open up that envelope very slowly because you don't recognize the label. It can be junk mail. It could be a collection letter. It could be anything. And instead, you won the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes and everything's cool. Well, we don't really win the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes and nothing was really cool. But a change came. Something happened, is what I'm trying to say. Something happened. And finally the darkness lifted and the light started to shine again. But what it takes really, and it's really kind of sad but always very, very true, what it takes to get to that point is having nothing left to give. And nothing left. You don't got nothing. You can't even suck out a dime from the sidewalk. You have nothing left to give. You got no heart. You got no spirit. You got no passion. You got no drive. You got nothing. And it has happened like that with me so many times in my life. So many times in my life. And I used to think, because remember, I was a pretty strong Christian for the longest time. And during that time, I would think that God was punishing me for something that I did wrong. And then That was kind of in the beginning because things kept going wrong, and you kind of got to figure God's not that mad at me. I didn't do all that, and if He knows everything, then He's pretty sure I didn't do all that. What the hell's going on? Yeah. And then you start thinking that perhaps, it's not God punishing you, but it's you punishing yourself over and over and over. And I think sometimes that's where people get the concept that we are God within ourselves, which, okay, kind of, but not really. God is God, the creator God, the God who created all that there is. God. One name, one God, one guy. He's not that mad at you. He's really not. But it's us within ourselves. We're the ones that are punishing ourselves. We're the ones that are digging our holes deeper. And we're the ones that have to make it right. Whether it is made right by walking away from where you are, or made right by correcting mistakes and errors and apologizing and saying I'm sorry. But not only just saying I'm sorry, rectifying it, doing something, doing something to make it better. Or just doing something to make it better, to take away that karma. Because I don't think either that we do penance. I don't think that God is not the creator. The creator doesn't want us to do penance. He doesn't care. He just wants us to love each other, learn how to get along, stop fighting all the damn time, and just be nice. And then get to live in balance with nature. That's really His idea of perfection. Oh, I'm sorry. I just have to laugh at myself sometimes because in the back of my head I heard somebody say, "Why so serious?" So I'm going to change up the tempo here. Let's pull a card. Let's start off with that. I'm going to pull one card, and then I have the funniest damn story to tell you. My husband's like, "Oh, God, don't tell him that story." I'm going to tell you this story. Blessings to you all, by the way. Blessings to you all. The truth is, really, the truth is exactly what I said, man. He loves us all. He just wants us to stop fighting and get along. And get along in harmony with the earth and realize that the earth she's all we've got. But she's also the mother of all that there is. She took the idea of being created in the likeness of God to a whole new level. She said, "Phew, if I'm a creator, I'm going to create. Let's make some trees. Let's get diversity going on around in here. Let's make some grass. God made the seas. Let's put some green in there, some different colors." Hey, Missy, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I got a hell of a story about that. And it's really kind of a long, convoluted story. So I'll just get to the good part of it. We actually have 2 RVs at the moment because my cousin and my sister have a lot at an RV park down at Truman Lake. And there was a small RV that was an older model, but darn, it's so cute. And it's in such really great shape on the inside. I want to keep it and make it like a little hippie mobile. I mean, I really want to. My husband's like, "Oh my God, we're not keeping it. We're not keeping that." So in order to get that lot, my husband and I decided to buy that RV for a very low price. I mean, we couldn't pass it up. And we'll easily turn around and get that right back out of it because it is so stinking cute, and it is in such great shape. So now we have to take that little RV out and pull the RV that we just bought. And the RV that we just bought is 10 years old. It really is. It's a beautiful, very, very well kept 10-year-old RV, but it's still a 10-year-old RV. And Deborah said she's jealous. Come and get it. It's for sale cheap. Text me. I'll let you know. But you got to come and get it. And it'd be great if you could come and pick it up by Friday. So, the man that we bought the RV from, my husband met the small one, the old one, so we could have the lot place. The man that we bought that from said, I'll be down Saturday to clean it out, and it's good to go. My husband said, all right, great. You know, he's a young guy, and my husband really didn't think much about it. We didn't go down until yesterday to check it out, to actually see the inside of the RV that we bought. And the thing is that the RV that we bought, that we originally intended for, was one that had a beautiful wooden deck on it. Really, really nice deck. And the RV was a newer model and a nice one too. You know, on the outside it looked really nice. But the deck was worth the price that we paid for the RV. And so our whole intention was to we are going to buy this RV, put it here in this perfect spot because it's got this great deck on it. We're right behind Ray and the family. We're right next door to Wendy and Kevin and the family. Perfect spot, man. We'd be right there. The compound, the bunker, right? The compound at the lake. So we went down there to this cool looking RV with this great porch, and noticed right away that the guy didn't take any of his picnic tables. We expected him to leave the porch because once it's in the ground, it stays on this, you know, according to the property rules, which was a great idea. It really is. If you're selling it, great idea for the buyers. So my husband said that the key was in a specific location on the RV. And that's where the key is going to be. So we went to the specific location on the RV and opened up that little door, and sure enough, there was that key. I was pretty excited. So we put the dogs up, knowing that we're probably going to have to do some final touch-up cleaning. You know, no big deal. I brought down the Windex. I brought down the toilet bowl cleaner. You know, I was going to clean real quick. And then we were going to pull it out on Friday and set it up on the hill for sale. That's what we plan on doing. So we go in there. My God, guy had not been there on Saturday. He did not clean out his trailer. And we were disappointed. So I'm going, man, you know, I don't want to throw this stuff away. I don't want to give it away. I would rather put it in bags and give him the opportunity to come and get it again. Because what if something happened on Friday and he just wasn't able to get here? Do you have his phone number? No, I left it at home. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to take everything out of the trailer, put it in these big yellow trash bags, and we'll know that the big yellow trash bags have his stuff in them, and we're not going to do anything with them until after we talk to him. Hub said, great. Sounds like a good idea. You start in here. I'm going to start power washing the outside of this trailer because it needs to be cleaned. So he's working hard outside power washing this trailer. And I am, excuse me, I take all the credit for this. I was inside stripping those beds down, man. I stripped down the bed. I found old clothes in the closet, a couple of cowboy hats that looked pretty cool, great for keeping the sun off your skin, you know, could be handy, but they're not mine, not keeping it. Everything's going in the bags. I did the whole bedroom area, I pulled everything out and I set it out there on the porch to get it out of my way as I'm going forward in this RV from the back where the bedroom is, or the front where the bedroom is, to the back where the kitchen is. So I get in the kitchen, all the little appliances are still there, all the dishes are in the cabinet, and I'm like, my God, I don't know what to do with this stuff, So I'm standing outside talking to my husband. I'm like, it seems like a waste to throw this stuff away. We could sell the camper as is and sell it with completely ready to go camping in, completely ready. Got all your dishes, all your appliances, even got a toaster and 2 coffee pots. Cannot go wrong here. About 3 hours later, I'm dying because there's no electricity in there and it's hot. And so I'm inside cleaning outside, getting some fresh air, getting the sweat off of my body. It was a beautiful adventure going down. Notice I didn't make any videos coming home. And I didn't make any videos of this RV either because of all the work that we had to do. So we're standing outside. My husband calls the RV owner, the lot owner, and says, man, do you just want this? Because it's fully stocked. I don't want to clean it. I don't want to deal with it. My wife doesn't want to deal with it. I'm done with it, because we're both sweaty and hot and grumping at each other. And Dave said, the only thing I wanted out of this deal was the porch. I had every intention on selling the RV. I think I'm just going to sell it just like it is. But you have the first choice. If you'd like to just move it out of the way so I don't have to deal with that and take it, you can have it. The RV park owner says, Dave said, the only thing I wanted was that porch. The RV park owner thought about it and said, no, man, if you don't want to clean it up, I sure as hell don't want to clean it up. I think I'll pass on that deal. So my husband and I are sitting there, and something told me, I glanced one time, and it was just to pick up and see the title to the RV. And I picked it up and I glanced at the title and I noticed that it was in 1969. So that flashed in my head for a second. It just pink, flash went on through. And I said, honey, are you sure it's not that one over there? And he said, what? I said, are you sure that it's not that camper right there? Because I just remembered for some reason that the camper that we bought was in 1969. This one looks pretty new, and it's got, 1, 2 slide outs on it. I think we're in the wrong camper. So he goes, well, good, I don't know. How am I supposed to know? And I said, I don't know. Easy mistake. So he goes over. I said, go to the same place on that little RV and see if the key is there. So he went over to that little place that is a secret place that apparently only other RVers know where to put the keys at, the spare key, because he went over and opened up that little door, and sure enough, there that key was sitting right there. And he goes, oh my God. He goes, oh my God, we're in the wrong camper. I said, oh shit. I've been in there for 3 freaking hours cleaning. We're in the wrong camper. Oh my God. Dave goes, just throw the bags back in there and let's get out of here. I said, are you crazy? We can't just throw the bags back in there. We got to put everything back. He goes, you mean to tell me I just power washed somebody else's camper? So, it was so bad. It was so bad. So needless to say, we did check out the little 69 camper. Right, Lisa? So glad we went there on Monday. I'm so glad. Man, It was so clean and so cute and just so ready to go. I know, I know. So we put everything back as much as possible. You know, I left his clothes on the bed. I said, babe, throw some money over here and let me write a note and tell this guy I'm sorry. We were in the wrong camper. And he goes, hell no, I'm not doing that. Oh my goodness, Missy, you should walk in these shoes. That's just an occurrence. One of many. David J. Missouri, what are you doing? Oh my God, it was the funniest thing. It was the funniest thing. On the ride home, my husband said, you know, I can't help but think that we just wasted an entire day. And I said, yeah, I think we did. But hey, we've got a whole lot more of those to waste. So I'm ready to go. I'm down for anything. He's retired. Oh my goodness, Donna. Oh my goodness. He's retired. So, you know, I just roll with it, you know. But while I was putting stuff away, I swear somebody came up and was talking to my husband and telling him, what are you doing, man? This is somebody else's trailer. This is somebody else's place. Why are you here? Why are you taking his stuff out? Because, you know, people down at little RV places, when they rent a place year-round, and this one is like that. People just come down on the weekends, but they all stick their RVs there, and they just come to the same place, got their camps all set up. So anyway, they're kind of clannish, to be you know, really honest with you. They're kind of clannish. Take that either way you want to. However it goes. And I don't know. I think we got out lucky we didn't get caught. I really do. Because apparently that was just my spirit guides really laughing one up on that one. So I had a good time with that. Had a good time. Yeah, so let's pull a card. Donna, my God, you know, we talk on the phone. It's been a while since we visited. But you know, man, my life, I swear, it just goes like that. That's why, I don't know, and every stitch of clothes they had, I just put on the bed. And I did try to and I did make their bed back really nicely, too. Dave goes, maybe they won't notice. And I said, won't notice? I said, they're going to wonder why in the hell somebody broke into their camper. I can't wait for that. Why somebody broke into their camper, didn't take nothing, cleaned it, and then took all their clothes and piled it on the bed. That's going to be like the worst. That's going to be like the worst April Fool's joke yet. You know? Oh, I gotta stop myself, man. I gotta stop myself. I'm sorry. Let's pull a card. This is from Postcards from Spirit. One of my favorite decks. This is Oracle deck. I think they are more like morning pick-me-ups. Postcards from Spirit. Colette Baron Reed. There you go. She's got a YouTube page. She's got a website. I'm sure she sells them on her own homepage. I would pimp out of Amazon. That's where I got mine. But I don't know. I think that I think people appreciate doing selling their own stuff on their own page. I would. Thank you, Melody. You guys are so much fun this morning. You're so much fun. Thanks for everybody being here with me. Dearest you, okay, holding it the correct way. Dearest you, even though life now seems to be moving full steam ahead, it's time to rest. Allow ideas to flow through you and take root in your heart before they reach your mind. Honor this process by becoming empty to allow for inspiration and the magic of dreaming. You might feel lazy or unproductive, but we know better. Just as sleep is a way to recharge before renewal, so are you in a time for dreaming. In this powerful process of co-creation, your soul merges with spirit in a profound way so that you can receive your music directly from source and play your part in the symphony of life. You are being invited to bear witness to the great creation and tune into what others can't hear. We have so many dreams to share with you in the sacred and in the invisible. Don't worry. We'll wake you when it's time to return with a new dream. No need to set an alarm clock. Loving you always. Nice. Nice. So I hope everybody else had a good and eventful or otherwise uneventful weekend. I really do. Man, I tell you, I can get in trouble just crossing the street. I really can. But it's always good. It's never anything bad. I mean, Melody said she's always dreaming. You know what? I was on Pinterest today because right now, so my husband and I have made some really, really serious decisions, and we finally decided and firm on what we're going to do. You ready? My dad left me a little house in Cleveland, which is my hometown. He had a property that he used for a rental there, and I think that my husband and I are going to be moving in that one and just having the RV for traveling and hanging out at the lake a lot with my sister and my cousins and whoever else is around. So now that my mind is finally set, good morning, April. Now that my mind is finally set on what we're doing and where we're going, I'm starting to look at ways of, because I know what the yard looks like. Hell, my grandparents owned the house. So there's no trees in it. It's flat. And I'm already deciding how I'm going to section it out and make gardens. And most of it's going to be raised beds. And I'm really super excited. I really am. I'm ready for just being able to raise my own food. Knowing what to plant with what is so important. Because you can plant certain herbs and flowers, like marigolds, citronella, I think you can grow in a garden, but if you can't, you can grow it in a pot. Anyway, you plant these things around your garden, and it repels, it can repel other insects, it can repel rodents, different flowers, different herbs repel different, and some attract. So you have to be sure that you have something that will provide food for whatever attract it. Like, for instance, I was reading this morning that mint attracts aphids. And so if your leaves start turning a certain color or looking a certain way, then you have an aphid problem, where catnip, I believe is what it said, attracts ladybugs, and ladybugs feed on aphids. So if you're going to grow a mint plant, grow catnip on either side of it, so that you're some cherry trees, right? I was thinking about that, Danielle. So Danielle is the neighbor at my dad's house, and right now the cherry trees are in full ripeness. Man, they look so good. So I called Danielle yesterday and said, man, go get some cherries, because there's nobody there to pick them this year. I was hoping to go down for a little bit this morning and pick some, but it turned out I'm not going to be able to go down today. So I hope you go back and get some more, and get them before all those dadgum possums get them. Possums get up in the trees, and raccoons. It's so funny. The first year that the trees flowered and made cherries, Danielle, this is hilarious, and you will appreciate this. The first year that there were cherries on the tree, my dad was so excited because cherries were my dad's favorite fruit. He loved cherry pie, and peaches were his second favorite. So he's got 2 cherry trees and 2 peach trees. He said that he went out, and the day before, this one day, he said, man, these cherries are ripe. They're going to be ready tomorrow. I'm going to pick me some cherries. I'm going to have me a cherry pie. And he was so excited. And he said that night something happened, and he woke up and he had to go outside, or maybe it was close to dawn, but it was still dark enough outside that he had the flashlight. He said that he went out toward the big shed and he had the flashlight, and he just happened to raise it up, and it just kind of glanced over that cherry tree, and he said he saw all these little pink beady eyes all over that tree. And so he said, I stopped and I shined my flashlight on those trees. He said, you wouldn't believe all the possums up there eating my cherries. They were all over the place. He said that the next morning when he went out to pick whatever was left, they were all gone. There was no cherries on that tree. He always had enough cherries for 1 cherry pie every year. But this year, man, those trees, and both trees were full. He'd have been so happy. And they all produced a lot of fruit. And I guess maybe it was because of so much rain early on. That, and we didn't get a frost that killed the flowers when they started budding. That's the thing that always gets the fruit trees around here, is that last frost of the season. So, anyway, possums eat ticks. Maybe there's raccoons. I don't know. I think there were possums, though. I don't know. Possums eat ticks. I guess they're good to have around if they eat ticks, man. And what is it that eats grub worms? Because I know what grub worms turned into, June bugs, and I just, can't stand June bugs. I can't stand them. Yeah. And the apples and the pears and the peaches are all so thick. And the trees are just full out in that part of Missouri, so I'm super happy about that. My dad, where he lives at, is up pretty, there's an elevation to it. There's a river down at the bottom of the hill. We don't call it a holler down Cleveland. We just call them hills. Skunks. Skunks eat cherries, I bet you. Dearest you, human beings spend a huge percentage of life asleep. Didn't this one just tell us to go to sleep and take a nap? And this one's telling us, now wake up. Not just in bed, but the kind where you forget that you are a spiritual, immortal being taking on a temporary human form. It's not your fault. Everyone suffers from spiritual amnesia once in a while. As you develop an identity, an ego, which is your idea of self. It's how you see yourself presented to the world. That is what ego is. Ego has nothing to do with thinking that you are better than somebody else or somehow above others. That's something else. Ego is how you see yourself as the world sees you. See yourself being seen by the world. Okay. As you develop an ego, you begin to see through the eyes of a small self and have a less connection to your soul self. You may not recognize that this is going on, but you sure can feel it. We're here to remind you to look through your soul's eyes and see the magic is everywhere. Infinite potential lies in spirit, who is teaming up with you to fulfill the contract that you made to contribute to the evolution of the whole world. There's no stress there, huh? Wake up and remember that all the help you need is orchestrated in the invisible realms. Your mind, in alignment with divine intelligence, is unstoppable, and the world is yours to co-create. You are so loved, and we are all behind you. That makes me feel better. It really does. It's a nice card. Nice card. guys are funny. You guys are funny. So skunks eat the grubs too? Well, you know what? I just don't think that my neighbors would appreciate me, and I knew my husband wouldn't appreciate me for keeping a skunk around the house, so I'll find a different critter for that job. I will find a different critter for that job. But I did post up some things on Little Sister of the Earth. I posted up some stuff on my page. One of them was an article, a YouTube article by Ice Age Farmer. And he's talking about some very important information as far as this coming world food shortage. And you know what the thing is that it's not coming in the next 5 years. It's coming to a supermarket near you this fall. This fall. But I'm going to let you listen to that podcast because it's very informative. He's got a lot of great ideas, and he's got a lot of really deep and heavy information that I really hope that you take the time to listen to. I really do. Just put your ears on and do your housework or do your computer work or whatever it is that you can do while you soak in what he has to say. Now, some other things that I was cruising around on Pinterest this morning, and I found some gardening, and they're just pictures, I just saved them real quick so I could post them up and share them with you. But they are gardening layouts. If you were to plant just a straight garden bed of what vegetables to plant next to what other vegetables, which ones complement each other. And last night I was looking, and I have quite a few more and other interesting things that I'm going to share with you off of Pinterest coming up pretty soon. Just because I'm interested too. I don't think that everybody has to be interested in the same things that I am. But, when I'm interested in something, I really start digging around on it and trying to get as many ideas as I can so that I can see the best way to do something, the best and the easiest. So yeah. Oh, love you all. Miss you too, Freya. I'm just a phone call away. I hope Wiz is doing well. My kindest regards to her, as speediest of healing. Really want to know that she's doing well. So happy that she was able to have that surgery. It really does suck. But even for Wiz, this recent surgery that she had was very, very serious surgery. Very serious. It was pretty much life-threatening. And the thing is that she didn't have any insurance, and she could not work and has not been able to work, so she had no money. It was just a victim of circumstance, not a victim of choice. So it had to become a life-threatening event before they would work with her on any kind of surgery. And because remember, if you apply for assistance paying for a hospital bill, they'll go back 3 months, take care of all your medical bills for that past 3 months. But it just sucks that you have to pretty much say, see, I told you I was sick. I wanted help 3 years ago when I knew I was getting sick. Why did I almost have to die to get your help? Oh, I hate that. I really, really do. It's such a thorn in my side. I worked in long-term care, and some of that time in my later years I did more office aspect of it, from social services, which I did a lot of social services work. And during my time working with billing and coding and social services, I really came to learn how everybody feeds off of everybody, and I'm not talking about us little people who are trying to work smarter, not harder, like Melody says. Talking about corporations, even small businesses, offices, to corporate entities. how they, the pharmaceutical industry, the healthcare industry, social services programs, they all work together and feed each other in a cycle. And it reminds me of sharks biting each other's tails in this vicious circle. Which shark is going to eat the next shark? Because, especially when I was working in billing, there was a substantial difference. And this is years ago. This is not common practice anymore. Unless, of course, you consider that $10 Tylenol, or $15 Tylenol now. Hell, it might be a $25 Tylenol by now that hospitals charge to insurance companies. The insurance companies jump up our rates, and then it just starts from there. I mean, some of the corruption but it's so deep, there's nothing that can be done about it. You can't blow the whistle on something that is a part of the cycle from the very top to the very bottom. That's something that is an accepted circumstance within specific circles of the people that can do something about it and make a difference that won't, because it's so much better this way. All that, I just think that things are really starting to change. And something that caught my attention was somebody in Congress calling to begin to consider ways to rationing meats. Because there's a protein crisis going on throughout the world, So check out Ice Age Farmer for me, please. Because I know I'm rambling now, because I'm not going to say a bunch of stuff that I can get in trouble for. But just know that the corruption that is within our government, is within our corporations, is within our companies, within our mom and pop places, because they can't compete with the corporate unless they play the corporate games. It's really despicable. It's really bad. How and it's in every aspect of our life, this vicious cycle. And it's not going to get any better. Nothing's going to change it except a complete reset and start all over again and making new rules, because the old rules just don't really fit anymore, so nobody's paying any attention to them. It sucks. I know I'm rambling, and that's okay. I don't have to make a lot of sense all the time. I'm going to pull one more card, and then I'm going to get off of here so you guys can start your day. I just wanted to jump in and stir up your morning, see what you had going on. Julie, how come you just always read my mind, or do I read yours? Protein crisis, yes, there's a serious protein crisis going on in the world right now, because if you remember, last winter there was a huge culling of beef in the United States and in other countries all across Europe and in I don't know, everywhere. And it is because the snow was so deep that the cows couldn't eat. There was no hay left in the Kansas City area. In our region, there was no hay left to continue to winter feed the cows. There was nothing left for them for like the last 3 weeks, maybe longer. And that's just in our area. Morning, Jenny. That's not counting what happened. Hell, Colorado still got snow going on. So does Montana and Idaho. And I don't know if they have a lot of cattle out there, but they still have snowstorms going on. This is June. Shouldn't be like this. In another country, I think it's in Korea, they have a new swine epidemic that is a swine Ebola epidemic. So I'm wondering, something that affected the humans, the Ebola virus. You know how we're always worried that the pigs are we're going to get the pig flu, the swine flu, I think that's what it's called. That's something that can cross species. The swine flu, it starts out in pigs, but humans can contract it, and it can be very deadly for us. Well, I think that the Ebola virus jumped to the pigs. So they're having to cull, I don't know, thousands upon thousands of pigs in the Korean states, or Korean country of Korea, Korean states. I don't know where that came from. Someplace else it's their chickens. For most of us it was the beef. They're killing animals left and right that we can't ever eat. It'll never go to market, ever. That's why I'm so strong on. Melody says that's very scary. Well, you're going to love growing your own vegetables because, believe it or not, there's actually quite a bit of protein in a lot of vegetables. Yes, I agree with that, Melody. I really do. And I know how to can. I know how to be self-sufficient. I really do. I can can anything. I can dry my meat. I can hunt it. But so many of us can't. Only 2% of the American population at this time knows how to grow their own food. And that is according to the Ice Age Farmer, to some charts that he put together. That's why I'm encouraging you to go check it out. It used to be 90-some% back in the 1600s. Now it's 2% of Americans know how to grow their own foods, who know how to be self-sufficient. That's a big deal. It really is a big deal. And yeah, we don't have to be meat eaters. There's nothing about our bodies whatsoever, as long as we eat the correct balance of fruits and vegetables and grains and fish if you want them. Poultry, I guess, if you have to have some kind of sustenance, some kind of meat, carnivorous foods. But there's nothing about the human body that says that we have to have meat. Nothing. We have this kind of semi-smooth intestines. A carnivore's intestines are very rough inside, and it's made to grab onto stuff and pull it down. Where a carnivore's intestines are very smooth. The walls are very smooth. They don't have those teeth grabbing on. Our intestines are kind of in between, but I think that is just an evolutionary trait. I think that we started out strictly herbivores. I think we started out with smooth intestines, and we're not supposed to eat meat. You crave meat, and I understand that. I absolutely do not crave meat. I used to. I don't think I ever really craved meat. Now, chicken, poultry, poof, I could tear up some fried chicken any day of the week. And I don't care how many days in a row I have to eat it. I will eat it cold. I will eat it hot. I'll eat. I just love chicken. It's good for you. It's healthy. No, I know, Lisa. I know farming is not an easy job, and it is not an easy job. But you know what? If with what we know today, one of the things that we know, my biggest problem with growing a vegetable garden was always that I had to tear out the soil, till the ground, plant the seeds, but I still couldn't get rid of the weeds. The grass still wanted to grow back every time. Not just once in a while, every time. And I was reading about raised bed farming, or urban gardening, where you create raised beds. And I'm not talking about waist-high tables with vegetables and dirt in them, but I'm talking about you just make your frame, you set it on the grass. You don't have to do any kind of anything. Except they suggested putting newspaper down and then soaking the newspaper in water as a weed barrier instead of using the plastic cloths. And I like that idea because I think it's good for the earth. I couldn't think of the word. Oh, shoot. And put your fill dirt in there, put your rocks for drainage if you got some. Put your seeds in there and go. It's, according to Diamond with Oppenheimer Ranch, it is not natural to dig the earth up to introduce seeds. And I really do kind of agree with that. I really do. I've watched other programs where they've taken 3 different seed varieties, a corn, a bean, and a squash, and put it in the dirt, made a mud bottle, and just thrown it out in the yard and let it grow where it landed. I can see where that would work. It really can. Seeds aren't made to grow in the ground. Well, it makes things a lot easier for me because I don't like to dig. I don't like to dig in the earth. Oh, shoot, guys. I've got one card here that fell out. And I usually read 3, so I'm going to read this last card. And then I'm going to get off of here and let you guys go on with your day. It says, check in with yourself occasionally about your motives behind the actions that you plan on taking, especially when you have an end game in mind. Is the source of your motivation desire or entitlement? Maybe you're drawn to a certain path because you think it will bring you a feeling related to the outcome that you seek, like safety or wholeness. Know that you will see a reflection in the outer world of the motive that drives you forward. Do you need a motive? Can you simply be pulled in the direction that your soul calls you towards joy, discovery, growth, or adventure, participating in something compelling and meaningful without trying to define it? If you can step forward, surrender to whatever Spirit has in store for you, you will be amazed at how things will turn out. Check your motives, then hand them over to Spirit. Everybody here wants the best for you. Life loves you more than you know. All right. I can't top that. So I think with that, I'm going to get off of here and wish you all a beautiful, blessed day. Be at peace with each other and with yourselves. And please remember, more than anything else, please pass that love that I give to you forward. Give it abundantly. Well said, Melody. Melody said, Spirit, use me as your vessel. If we did that every day, it'd be an amazing journey, wouldn't it, Melody? I do it every morning. Every morning I dedicate myself to Spirit, and I say, whatever it is you have me do today, let me do it with joy. Let me be happy in my daily steps, in my daily walk. Let me go forward joyfully. Let me spread love unconditionally and abundantly. And so I just ask you to do the same thing. Share that love unconditionally and abundantly. Even if it is simply looking a stranger in the eye, right there, looking them in the eye, saying good morning, and give them a nod, and then give them a smile, a real smile. Yeah. And look at their expression. They're either happy, well, good morning, how you doing? Or they're shocked, good morning. And suspicious, because who does that? Or maybe they get kind of scared and do a wide circle around you. No matter how it is, let them accept it in their way and judge them not. Love you all. Have a beautiful day. Go do something productive. And do it for yourself. You don't have to have a reason.